Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be all about drugstore makeup. I am going to do my top 5 and my bottom 5 of some new drugstore releases. I've been really lucky to get some new releases lately from brands like L'Oreal and Covergirl, Revlon. So I have 10 different products here and I have them divided up into my top 5 and bottom 5. So I'm going to go through and give little reviews on each of these products and explain why I'm choosing them in the top or bottom category. But if you're ready to talk about some drugstore makeup, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I'm excited to be doing a top 5, bottom 5. I actually asked this question a really long time ago because I remember, I'm pretty sure it was on Snapchat. And we all know what happened to Snapchat. And I was asking for like new series ideas and just like new ideas and things like that. But a bunch of people were saying they really like top 5, bottom 5 videos. So I want to definitely do more of these. And then when I was getting in so many drugstore packages of products to be able to test out and review, I thought doing top 5, bottom 5 would be a good time to put this into play, especially because I have so many products that I feel like I might get a little overwhelmed if I try to put too many into a video. So like for me, I can get long-winded, I can get chatty, can you tell right now? So I thought doing the top 5, bottom 5, not only was it requested, but it would maybe like kind of help keep me on track as well. So that is how I decided it. And then I also did a poll on Twitter because I didn't know if people like to see all bottom 5, all top 5. Do you want me to go back and forth? And the most requested was to do bottom 5 first, and then do all of top 5 instead of alternating them. So that is the style that I'm going to do. But of course, if you have other, suggestions, go ahead and let me know. But doing it that way won by about like 72%, I would say. So that's how we're gonna do this video. Alrighty, so starting out with some products that just unfortunately did not work for me. This one here is from Revlon. This is their Color Stay Brow Mousse. Okay, so I'm not like super adventurous with my brows. I typically stick with brow pencils, but every once in a while, I'll mix it up. I'll try something different. So this one is about $12 on the Ulta website, and this is what it looks like. So it's a really interesting little applicator, and you can probably see some of the mousse that's in there from the last time that I was trying this. But you twist it, and the product comes out, and then you kind of spoolie it through, and this didn't really work out for me. So this is interesting because I tried it the first time and I tried it on bare brows. I didn't have anything in my brows yet just because I wasn't sure. I kind of wanted to see how it went before, I take the time to fill in my brows and then I come in and like ruin it somehow. And when I was doing it, I was like, I think maybe I could get it if I have pretty like I have eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I don't have brow product in them, they're pretty deep. They're probably like medium, on the brow scale. And I was still like, what is this doing? Is this doing something? And I went to the Ulta website to look it up and just make sure, like, am I using this product wrong? And it says it's good for people with medium to full brows, and it's good for covering gray brows, and it gives you some structure, and it's supposed to make them look more natural. And then, they do have different shades. I was trying this one in blonde, so you're supposed to be able to kind of, but nothing really happens. Like I see the product going onto my brow, but when I actually use this applicator and kind of like do the shoo, nothing's really happening. It's just kind of like moving product in weird places, and that was kind of a no-go. But then I wanted to give it a try after I'd filled in my brows because I was like, is it supposed to be like, like a brow gel type of thing? And that really did mess up my brows. I was glad that I was just testing out makeup that day and I wasn't actually filming because I would have been pretty frustrated. So I just did like a really quick fill my brows in, and then I went over and did this, and I could tell that it was moving what I had already done. Like it was kind of moving that product around. So, I mean, this is one where it definitely could be like user error on my part because I don't quite understand this. I've never worked with anything like this. I just didn't really get it. But even especially after it moved my brow product around once I'd already filled in my brows, and that I just did absolutely nothing when I had no brow product on, I was like, I don't understand what this is. So unfortunately, this one from Revlon, this one was a no-go for you, girl. Next up, I have a little eyeshadow here from Almay. Okay, so these are eyeshadow quads from Almay. So here's what one looks like. This one is in the shade 210 Unplugged. So I have tried a purple. I also tried kind of a greenish one, and then this was the final one that I wanted to try. I was out of town for a couple days and not filming and not really like going anywhere. So that's when I took a lot lot of this drugstore makeup back with me and was trying it out, and then this was the quad that I chose to take with me because I was like, I don't know, maybe the colorful ones aren't working. I don't know. You know how like you try to justify like makeup not working? You're like, oh no, it's the colorful quads that aren't working, so I'm gonna go with a really neutral one. Unfortunately, it still didn't work out. So these run for about $7, and you get the, you know, the 4 little shades in here. And I did some swatches on my hand, and it's probably hard to see them, and those were me, like I was trying to build it up so you could see them. The shimmers in here, they're just not very shimmery, so that was kind of a disappointment when I put it on my eyes. And then I also, like the first time I was using this one in particular, I just put down like a regular, you know, eyeshadow primer, nothing crazy, and they were completely faded on my eyes in like 2 hours or something. I put it on and I worked for a little bit, and then the next time that I went into the bathroom and I looked at my eyes to see how it was holding up, I was like, where is the eyeshadow? It helped a little bit putting like a base on. I got these new Sigma eyeshadow base primers to use, and I used them the next day with this one as well, but I honestly think they faded again, and what I was seeing was the Sigma primers, because those are actually really good. These just aren't really doing anything. They're not very pigmented. They don't have a lot of lasting power. So, I mean, it's only $7 for a little quad, but again, I've tried the purple, a green one, and now this one, and that's kind of, they're all kind of working the same. So, unfortunately, that one was a miss from Almay. Next up here, I have a product from L'Oreal. This is the True Match Lumi Glotion. Okay, so glow lotion. Clearly, here's what it looks like, and I was interested in trying this. This one is in shade 901, which is Fair Glow, and I think I have one other shade as well, so I'll try to do a little swatch here on my hand next to these eyeshadow swatches so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna say here. Like, okay, see right there, you can see that shimmer, right? Like you can see that kind of glow, but once you start to actually work it in to your skin, like, so I put it on and I did that same thing, and I like did like 3 swipes, and I was like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool. And then I rubbed it in the rest of the way, and then I was like, oh, it's where did that go? It's basically gone. And I was like, maybe, again, could be user error because I don't use products like this a ton as well. So it's just kind of one of those products that really just fade into nothing once I started to blend it in to my skin. I noticed no difference with it. There was no glow to it, no anything like that. So unfortunately, this one was a miss, and I was also testing out a different one from a different drugstore brand. I'm still kind of trying it out because this was the first one I went to. Now I'm trying out another product that's similar to this, and you can actually see, like, even when I don't put on foundation, you can see the glow that it's giving my skin when I blend it all in as well. So I think it's just this one. So I didn't really like this product either. It says it's just supposed to be a natural glow enhancer, but I didn't really see that happening. These are $15, and I really wouldn't be able to recommend this. So next up, I have a product here from Pixi Beauty, and Pixi Beauty kind of confuses me because at least when I first started watching YouTube and hearing about Pixi, people categorize them as a drugstore brand because you can also find Pixi Beauty at Target. But a lot of their prices are pretty high. And then you hear people say, you know, they're a drugstore brand, but they're higher price. And so I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're just more of like that mid-range brand. So I don't know if I'm kind of cheating here, but I did get a pretty large PR package from Pixi with their new Pixi Pretties, and I'm trying to work in the reviews as I can. And because some people still say drugstore because you can find it at Target, I'm gonna go ahead and include it in here. And this isn't, to me, like the highest priced item that I'm talking about from that collection. So I feel like we're just gonna go ahead and roll with it, okay? But this is the Pixi Beauty in collaboration with Weylie Hoang. I'm sure I am saying that incorrectly, but this is one of their collaborations. The entire Pixi Pretties is collabs with beauty influencers. So this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. It's called Let's Talk Eyes. So you have 6 different shades here, matte and shimmers, and this one is $20, but it also comes with a double-ended liner. So if you were to buy this, it comes in the set. So that's why I honestly don't think that $20 for this and the liner is all that terrible. I'm still testing out the liner to review. The shimmers in here don't show up on your eyes. I don't know what else to say. And I was really disappointed because I pulled this out the other day to use it, and I ended up having to give up and I grabbed out the Persona Identity palette to finish off my eye look. And I use the mattes from this palette, but the shimmers just do nothing. Now here are the swatches of the 3 shimmers, and honestly, I don't think that they swatch bad. I was excited for that, but unfortunately on the eyes, no matter what, when I was doing the most recent eye look, I even had concealer down because I've been finding doing concealer, like the cut crease method type of thing, is helping the shimmers pop more. I even did that, and I first tried this shade right here and nothing was happening, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And then I moved over to this shade. I was like, I'll just use a different shade then. And again, same thing, I had to stop. I had to grab out another palette. The mattes are pretty light in here as well. They're not very pigmented, and you do, like when I was working with them just the other day, I actually used just these two, the 2 center ones right here for that eye look, and you just have to take your time and build them up. I don't really mind that though with these like matte shades in particular, like brown transition crease shades. I don't mind that because it's easier for me to start little and work my way up when it comes to matte transitions instead of them being too pigmented and I can't blend them out and, you know, all that jazz. So when I first started using this palette and I was using the mattes, I wasn't mad at it. But then once I started to try to add in the shimmers, I was like, oh no. And so I was pretty frustrated when I couldn't even finish off an eye look with just 1 shimmer from this palette, and then to have 2 shimmers not work from this palette, I was pretty disappointed. So for $20, I don't think that this would be worth it. I'm so bummed about that, but no, I just can't recommend it. Alrighty, one more product, and this one, I don't think it's necessarily like totally terrible type of thing, but if I had to pick between top 5 and bottom 5, I'd put it in the bottom 5. This is from Covergirl. This is their Peacock Flare Mascara. I feel like I was hearing really good things about this mascara, so when I got it in the PR package, I was like, yes, can't wait to try this one. And I'm not even a mascara person, so also keep that in mind. I typically wear false lashes, but every once in a while, you know, you find a hidden gem drugstore mascara that you want to keep repurchasing. So I was excited to test this out, but unfortunately, this just did really nothing for me. It definitely didn't do anything for volume. So if you're someone who maybe you have long lashes, but you really need a lot of volume, this really did nothing in that category. It like lengthened them like an eek. You know what I'm saying? Like eek is what they did for length. The worst mascara that I've ever tried, but it's also not something that, like, if I'm not wearing lashes, that I would reach for this because it just doesn't do enough for my lashes. But I have very tiny lashes. They have no length, they have no volume to them, they have no nothing, and this one just didn't do them any sort of favors. So the Covergirl mascara is $9, but unfortunately this one was a miss for me. But that is everything for the bottom 5 for my new drugstore releases. Let's end this on a happy note and talk about some of my faves. So first up, let's talk about an item that really surprised me. Really caught me off guard. So I got a really nice PR package from Almay. You know, we've already seen, I put one in my bottom 5, but this one has to go in my top 5, and I'm surprised for a variety of different reasons. I feel like Almay is a brand that has been pretty under the radar for many, many years now. They just haven't really been coming out with any like new or exciting releases. They've just been kind of like, you know, I'm not sure what is with my sound effects as of right now, but I got a package and I started trying out a few things from them, and for some reason this caught my attention. Why, I don't know, but it did. This is the Almay Instant Glow Highlighting Duo. So I'm saying that I don't know why it caught my attention because I don't prefer highlights like this. So you have a stick highlight on one end, and then on the other end you have a liquid highlight that looks like such. I prefer powder highlights. I don't like liquid highlights. I'm not a fan of cream highlights. So why in the world this caught my attention and I was like, I need to try this? I have no idea. But wow, am I so glad I did. It's the highlight that I have on today, and I really, really like this highlight, and I'm really excited about that. So this isn't something, and this is the shade Talk Pinky to Me. Well, isn't that cute? This is something that I feel like gives more of a natural style of glow. So if you want something that is super blinding, which is normally what I go for. Normally that's what I want with my highlight, but there's also times where I do want something a little bit more on the natural side. And this I think is natural, but like with a boost. I just think it's so pretty. I liked the little pinky sheen to it. It's nothing too overwhelming. It's not like too pink on my cheeks or anything like that. But what I do is, like I said, I do have it on today. I've just been running my finger over the stick side and then dotting it on to my skin. And then I've been taking the liquid side and I'm basically just dotting it right over where I put the stick foundation. And then I'm just grabbing a damp beauty blender and blending it out. What I really appreciate about the liquid side of this is that it doesn't dry immediately on the skin. I recently reviewed the new liquid highlights from the Balm and I actually tried them out in a first impression video. And it's like you have to dot it on while already you're there ready to blend it out, because otherwise it's drying and it like dries and like patches on your skin. This one, I mean, of course I do work quickly, but I can dot it, I can come back, I can close the cap on it, grab my sponge and then start to blend it out, and I can still blend it out like seamlessly. It looks good, it looks blended into the skin, it looks natural. It's like this glow from within. Man, I'm really excited about this. When I was out of town for the couple of days, I actually brought another highlighter to test out, but I ended up using this again the next day because I was so excited. And I've been wearing this like crazy. I don't know what it is. Oh man, I just feel like it looks really good on the skin. And sometimes with certain powder highlights, you kind of come into like, is it too powdery? Is it going to show too much texture? And again, I just feel like this is a really natural, really pretty highlight. So, okay, that had me really excited. These are $12. Yes, these are $12 for the duo. So if this is your kind of thing and you like the natural highlight, I think that you would really like that one. Next up here, this is from Revlon. This is the PhotoReady Prep Set and Refresh. I'm not exactly sure how new this is because I feel like I've seen this before, but it did come in a recent package that I did get from Revlon, so I thought I would throw it in here to review it. So this guy is $13. I think that's kind of pricey for a drugstore spray, but that could just be me. But I actually really do like this one. Spray on it is, oh, that's a nice fine spray that you're getting. But this one actually, when I spray it, I feel like, I don't know how to describe it the best, but it's like one of those things where you just know that it's doing something for you. And it's almost like, it doesn't leave my skin like sticky, but I can feel that like, I feel like it's making my makeup last. And again, this is what I wore, or this is what I brought with me out of town, and I used it for the couple days and I felt like my face makeup was holding up really well. And this is one, even after my testing period, I keep reaching for this one just because I feel like it's doing a really good job of setting my makeup in place. So I'm actually really impressed with this one. I like the sprayer on it. I feel like I'm seeing good results with it. So this one from Revlon, that had me impressed. Next up, I have a foundation to talk about. This one is from Physicians Formula, and this is the Healthy Foundation. I feel like this foundation is getting a lot of good feedback, and I would have to agree. My friend Candace did send this one to me. She got it in the shade MN3, and she was like, you know, the shade match isn't great for me. Would you like me to send it to you and you can try it out for review? And I was like, yes, that would be great. So one thing I'll say, I am someone who films almost every single day because I put out a video 6 or 7 days a week. So sometimes I have to be testing makeup that doesn't necessarily work for me, that isn't necessarily a good product, and you can tell that it's on my face. But a lot of times when I'm testing out foundation, the shade match isn't always perfect. Maybe I got it sent to me in PR and they didn't send a shade match. Maybe a friend sent it to me, it's not a shade match. Maybe I picked it out and it's not a great shade match, but I'm still trying to review it. Because sometimes I get comments like, oh girl, I just wanted to let you know your foundation doesn't match. Oh, I know that most of the time. Most of the time, I know that and I can see that, but I'm still just trying to review. And because I film almost every single day, I don't have a lot of downtime to be testing makeup while not on camera. I hope that makes sense. I will say, like, whenever I was wearing this foundation, so many people are like, that foundation's too yellow for you, it's too yellow for you. I'm like, I know, just let me review it though. Let me test it out, man. But I will say that I actually really do like it. So it has the applicator kind of like the Clinique Beyond Perfecting, which I don't mind, I don't hate. I don't think it's my favorite way for foundation application, but I don't mind it. But I feel like the finish that it leaves on the skin looks so nice. It says it has a brightening complex in here and it's good for all skin types. I really do believe that it just brings a little bit of, like luminosity or something to the skin, but it definitely does just kind of like brighten the face up. That's something that I definitely noticed, and for the longest time I didn't notice that it said it right there in the bottle, the brightening complex, and when I finally did, I was like, I knew it, that's what I was saying about this foundation. So it had me really excited. I like the packaging of it. I like the glass bottle. I think that's really nice for Physicians Formula. This one is $13 on the Ulta website, which actually I don't think is terrible for the 1 fluid ounce, which is standard, because the Physicians Formula can be higher priced, but that wasn't crazy to me. I honestly thought it would be higher. But I do like the way it looks on the skin. I think it blends out easily. I think it's a really good medium coverage without being too heavy, too cakey or anything like that. It has SPF 20 in it, which is good. I have been hearing a lot of people kind of complaining about the shade range because, so MN3 is supposed to be medium neutral 3, and I try to go more neutral. Like, I try to do a cool tone foundation if I can, or at least a neutral, and this I thought was warm. And when a lot of people were commenting on the foundation, they were saying they thought it was yellow, which usually yellow is in the warm. So I was like, yeah, I'm confused too. A little confused. If you guys feel like you found a good shade match, maybe let me know if you have like a comparison foundation you could throw at me, because I do want to purchase one in my correct shade, but I don't know how to find it. And you can't swatch, at least at my CVS, you can't swatch the drugstore foundations, so I don't know how to choose one. So that's the only downside to it, but I really like this foundation. I think it's really nice. I think it'd be a good summer foundation. I just can't find my shade. Moving on. Okay, so I have 2 products left, and they're actually both from Covergirl. I was so incredibly lucky to get the giant Covergirl box that I'm sure you're seeing a lot of people, you know, open and haul and review and things like that. So exciting to me because Covergirl was one of the first brands that like I was ever wearing. I can remember those little tiny single blushes because my mom used to have so many of them, and I'd always wear them, and I bought the Covergirl single eyeshadows for the longest time. But to get a box like that was super overwhelming. So I've been trying out a lot of different things. You know, the mascara didn't work for me, but I have 2 items here that really do excite me. The first one here is the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. Okay, so I'm not even a powder girl, and when I saw these, I was just kind of like, I don't know. But then I believe it was Jessica Braun that I heard saying really good things about this powder, and I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and give it a try. So glad I did. Thank you, Jessica, because wow, am I impressed with this powder. I'm trying mine out in the shade 725, which is buff beige, and just what I've been doing so far is when I put a foundation on, I'm just kind of using this to set it all over my face. Again, it's not a step I do a ton. I typically do it more in the summer if I'm going to do it at all, just because I'm outside a lot. You know, I can get a little bit sweaty, more oily in the summer, that sort of thing. But I've been trying it out, and if you check my description box, I always link all of my makeup down there. A lot of times this past couple days, weeks and whatnot, you keep seeing the Covergirl powder down there because I'm just so impressed with it. I just want to keep wearing it. I am actually trying out a new drugstore foundation today, and it's a mattifying foundation, which normally I don't think I would really put powder over a matte foundation, but I don't have a lot of mattifying foundations. But I still was like, but I want to put it on. It makes my face look so good. So I still did. I feel like I look really weird today. Like, I feel like I look super matte, which is not normally my style. But again, review period. We're testing things out, seeing how they go. But that was how excited I was. Like, I still wanted to put the powder on. I just feel like it makes your skin look so flawless and just so pretty. Something about this powder just really makes my skin look so nice. It's not too cakey. It's not too heavy or anything like that. And I just feel like it's making my skin look so good. So even though this is a step that I don't normally take in my foundation routine, I still just want to keep putting this powder on because I feel like it really smooths everything out and just gives my skin a bit of a lift. So I've been really excited for this powder, and this powder is $12. So that's actually kind of pricey for Covergirl, but if you're a big powder person, powder foundation person, I would check that one out. And then the item that has me the most excited, and you guys might think this is crazy, it's a brow product. It's a brow pencil. It's a brow pencil. I'm so excited over this Covergirl brow pencil. It is the Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, and I have mine in the shade Soft Blonde. It's what I have in my brows today. It's what I've been wearing in my brows so frequently because I feel like my brows actually look really good when I use this pencil, and that has me pretty stoked. This is only $8, which I don't think is bad at all, but I'm just so excited to find a bomb drugstore pencil for my brows because I feel like for the longest time I was really struggling. I was only able to use the Benefit brow pencils, but this is a good one. This one and the Maybelline Brow Definer, those are like head to head right now with my favorite drugstore pencils and just favorite drugstore pencils in general. So this one has a very fine tip on it. You probably could catch that from the name. So it is an ultra fine tip, reminds me of the Benefit Precisely My Brow sort of thing. And it has the spoolie on the other end, regular old spoolie over here. But something about this pencil, it just allows me to create like really fine hair strokes. I typically struggle for the front of my brows because I don't have a lot of hair that grows like towards the front of my brows, so I try to fill that in the best I can with a pencil. And sometimes it's hard and it doesn't always look the best on me. Like sometimes it's like too smudgy or something. But with how fine this pencil is, I feel like I'm doing a better job of actually creating hair strokes, but it still fills everything in really nicely. I don't have to take too much time on it. And I've been getting a lot of compliments on my brows, especially when I've been wearing this brow pencil. I'm just so hyped over this pencil. It is what I have been reaching for so much. It's so easy to use and I'm so excited about that. So Covergirl, oh man, you and me, this brow pencil, we're gonna get along just fine. I'm totally gonna be repurchasing this one when I run out of it because I'm loving the way my brows look. But after that, that is going to be my top 5 of new drugstore releases, and that's gonna do it for today's video. Okay, so that is everything for my top 5, bottom 5 on new drugstore releases. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video or you found it helpful in some way. I'll go ahead and link everything down below. I totally understand that something I said for a bottom 5 product that doesn't work for me, it might be the opposite for you and it might still work out for you. So I just link everything that I talk about down in the description box. But I'd love to know if you guys have tried any of these products that I've tried out. Have you had the same experience as me? Have you had the opposite experience of me? I would love to know, and I'm sure others would as well that are reading through the comments. But if you want to see more of the top 5, bottom 5, let me know. If you'd like to see this also for other higher end releases that came out, I could totally do it for just new releases in general too. So let me know if you like this format of video, and I could definitely get more on my upload schedule. But other than that, that's gonna do it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video or you found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.